Hola guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxanne. If it's your first time here, then welcome. Today I want to talk to you guys about my goals for 2018. I just kind of jot these down, so this will be a mix of like personal reading goals, channel goals, and then randomness. But I'll try and keep it book related and channel as much as possible, channel related as well. There are some goals from 2017 that I want to keep going for 2018. So two of those are to read one nonfiction, an average of one nonfiction a month. And from what I was looking at very quickly last year, because I do want to do sort of a reading year in review for 2017. I was successful at that, so I want to keep that going for next year. And then the other one is to do at least 6 rereads. So I was successful at that as well, just because I pretty much always reread Harry Potter and I reread some Jane Austen, but I want to go away from that. And I'll still reread them, like they're just yearly rereads, at least one of the Harry Potter books, and definitely always Pride and Prejudice, but I do want to reread other books that aren't really tradition, because that isn't, to continue to do that isn't really making me, like pushing me to reread more. It's just kind of keeping me in the same habits that I've been keeping recently, and so, or over the last few years. So I would like to reread other kinds of books as well. I'm gonna keep the same amount of books for my Goodreads goal at 60. I reached that relatively easily, and so I just kind of want to keep that. Obviously I'll probably still try to read more, and I recently just got a library card to the New York Public Library, and they have an amazing Overdrive account. Like, they just have so many available books, and I've been really getting into audiobooks lately, so, or as of last year, so I'm probably gonna read a lot more than 60, but I want to keep that number at 60. I would like to read books about autism. I have a few that I have on a TBR that are specifically for that. I think most of them are sort of middle grade books, which is fine, but I would like to make more of a conscious effort to pick up those books. I don't think I own any of them, so at some point sort of make an effort to read those. I have a sister with autism, and so I would really like to read more, or read just at all anything with that could represent her in them. I've really been enjoying making a very conscious decision to read a lot of female authors. I think most of what I've been reading recently has been authored by women, and I would like to keep that trend. I would also like to obviously extend that to be as diverse as possible, so queer women, women of color, things like that. I have been making a very conscious effort to purchase books from women of color, women who are queer, and things like that for next year. So I think I'm really excited about all of the books that I'm gonna have at my disposal to read next year, because there's a lot of diversity there, and a lot of just really amazing stories that I really want to get into and read. Like I was just saying, I've been purchasing books that I really want to read next year, and I've been making a very conscious effort to be as diverse as possible in my choices. One thing that I'm really focusing on is Latin American fiction, so I've been getting a lot of women Latinx authors and books authored by them and about them. But I would in my reading like to make, so I'll have a lot of diverse reads just naturally from those books that I have available on my shelf physically, but I also want to make sure that I make a very conscious effort to choose at least one very diverse book each month. So like I said, that'll probably happen naturally, just because of the amount of really great books that I've been getting. But I also I want to keep myself accountable and to go through the books that I got, because I got them for a reason, and I think they're going to be some of the best stories I've ever read. So I would like to have more discussions on BookTube. I did a few this year, and then I started a few series that I would really like to continue. So I want to continue my book Stores in New York series, and then also one that I started and haven't done much with since, but that's mostly because I'm wanting to read more books that I can incorporate into that series, is books that help me cope. I did that after the Charlottesville situation with all the Nazis running amok, and sort of I didn't feel like we were reacting in the way that we should. The outrage wasn't as much as I thought it should be, and we obviously weren't getting the appropriate response from the White House. So I did that as a means for me to kind of center myself and see what types of books I turn to help me learn, to share those with other people, and then also to just kind of help organize my thoughts and get some of my frustration out. I didn't sit and write notes on it. I didn't script it in any way. I don't really script any of my videos, but it really was very kind of spur of the moment thing, and and if you watch the video, you can sort of tell that I'm very frustrated. And I liked I did like how spur of the moment and how genuine that was. The ones that I do going forward will probably be a little bit more planned, because like I said, I'm waiting to read enough books that I can make another one of those and have it be a substantial list. But like I said, I want to keep that going, and I want to I just want to keep being as genuine as possible just in all of the videos that I do. But I think those are very special to me because for the most part in my Twitter account, I am very opinionated in a lot of things, and I'll share a lot of articles and I'll share a lot of opinions. In BookTube, I will do that through the types of books that I read and through some comments that I might make, but I think that one was very specific, and it was very angry and opinionated, and I think those types of discussions are important to have every now and then, at least for me, because they let you guys get to know me better, and they let me let go of some anger and some frustrations that I may have. So more of those types of videos and more discussions in general, I think would be really great, and so I would like to try and do those more next year. I haven't really been paying attention to any new releases, and that's because I want to keep focusing on older books. I really enjoyed that. I really liked sort of going back and getting to know authors and that I hadn't read before, and reading some of their older works, and I think it was really great, and I got to read a lot of really great new series and a lot of great new books, and I kind of want to keep doing that. I think for me, I start to forget about older books, and I just start to focus on books that are new releases or that are being hyped, and I like just kind of sitting quietly and looking through older books that I want to get to, that have just been out for a while, that people might have forgotten about, books that I might have said at some point that I wanted to get to, and really actually get to them. So, I mean, obviously I'm sure that I'll get some new releases because I watch videos of people who have like most anticipated lists and will talk about new releases, and I might get some of those. But I like that I'm focusing on older books because yeah, I feel like it allows me to keep my reading focused. It allows me to keep my reading focused and not get carried away with the hype of different books, to where I just sort of forget some books that I have on my shelves or books that I've been thinking about for a long time. And sort of speaking about that, going into my next goal is that I would like to read as many books on my physical shelf as I possibly can. So I have some books from Christmas coming in. Once I do that, I'll do a book haul. I am going to be participating in the Book Riot Read Harder challenge, and I tried to pick a lot of books that I already had on my shelves, but I had a lot of them also that I had to purchase. And so I got this really great gift card from my boss at work, and so I used that to get a lot of books, pretty much I think only for that challenge. So once those get in, I will haul them, and then I will do I'll do a physical TBR video, and my goal would be to read as many of those as possible, and so to look back at the end of next year and make sure that as many of those as possible are read. So I don't know if that'll mean like 0 by 2018 or something like that, or 0 by 2019, I guess. But that I would definitely like to make sure that I'm turning over those books as much as I can. That's definitely a goal of mine. I want to write more. I've been making sure to leave space on my bullet journal to write thoughts, to write a journal in a more traditional sense, like a diary type thing, I guess. And I just want to keep doing that. I think it really helps also when I'm feeling frustrated or when I have a lot of things on my mind. It's really good to get them out and get them down on a piece of paper, especially something that I put in work into, like my bullet journal. It helps, so I would like to do that more. And then my last but not least is I would like to read more illustrated novels, graphic novels, comics, things like that. I did a lot of that back in 2016 when I first started getting into like Saga and Lumberjanes and Sex Criminals and Chew and things like that. But I have a lot of them are kind of started but not completed, as in like I haven't caught up. So I would like to catch up in a lot of the ones that I have physically. So I have to catch up on Saga, I have to catch up on Lumberjanes, I have to catch up on Sex Criminals, I have to catch up on Alex and Ada. Like I just have, not catch up because that's only 3, so I have to get the last one. I have to catch up on a bunch of them, so I want to catch up and then discover new series as well. I really enjoy them. They're a good break from longer books of when I want something very quick to pick up and read. Those are really great stories that can still be very good, deep, meaningful stories that I can learn from. So, and it's like such a good way to read diversely too, because there's so many really good diverse stories being told through graphic novels that I think is awesome. Actually, a lot of the books in my TBR for the Book Right Read Harder challenge are actually graphic novels, which is awesome. And I guess maybe that's my last one. I mentioned it, but I didn't say that it was an actual goal. The last one is that I do want to participate in the Book Right Read Harder challenge. I actually already wrote down my TBR. So I think I'll probably do its own video for that. I'll just go through the challenges and what books that I want to read for that challenge, for that prompt. And then there are a few that I want to discuss. There's one that I want like opinions on. So yeah, I'm very excited about this upcoming year. 2017 was an absolute shit show, like just worst year of my life. So hopefully next year will be a lot better. And I am making a conscious effort to begin that just through the books that I read. So yeah, let me know what you guys' goals are going to be for next year. If you've already uploaded them, I may have already seen it, but if just in case, let me know down below and I'll check them out. As always, thank you for watching and for listening. I love you guys very much.